Hey, good morning. So, sometimes I sit down and I'm going to share with you, and I think, gosh, I wish I had better news, but actually, the news I have is good news. It's just uh, requires something from us. That's all. But it is good news. So, it's a little late. Usually, I get this done much earlier in the day, but it's a little late today because I've actually been working with guys. This morning, I had some guys in the house, and we were reading from the book. I'm really blessed that I get to be able to do this, and to work with newcomers and work with guys in recovery every day. And I just decided, I mean, I've always done it, but but you know, when I closed my business a couple of years ago, and this has just become like my full-time job. It's not a paid gig, but it is a paid gig because I get to have recovery. I get to see other people grow, and families get back together, and men become good dads. And I mean, there's some great upside for me in doing it. But what I wanted to talk about before I do the reading this morning is just a couple of quick things and if you're in recovery, in a 12-step program, whether it's AA, NA, CA, GA, whatever, SA, Overeaters Anonymous. I mean, there's just so many beautiful ways that the 12 steps have been put together so that to help people with their lives, so if you're in recovery, there's there's no there's no question that if we want to have long-term recovery, if we want to get this and keep it, we have to give it away. And this morning we were reading in Bill's story in the book. It was just myself and three other guys, and we were reading in Bill's story. And Bill Wilson was the co-founder. He was the first guy, really. And Bill had, his story of where he got to and how tough things got for him were phenomenal. And he really did hit the bottom, um, if you get a chance to read Bill's story, do it. It's in the big book. It's one of the first stories in the book. But what he says about working with others is so clear, and it's just we have to agree, first of all, that we have a spiritual malady, that that we're that no amount of self-knowledge can fix it. Therapy doesn't work for the real alcoholic, because we're grossly self-centered, and we get caught up in ourselves, and we have to find a power greater than ourselves to get out of this, and we have to build that relationship with the power greater than ourselves, and we call that spirituality, right? And whatever, we can call that power love if we want to, whatever we want to call that power. But on page 14 in the big book, it said, my friend emphasized the absolute necessity of demonstrating these principles in all my affairs. Particularly was it imperative to work with others, as he had worked with me. So his friend was Ebby T, who brought the message to Bill. And this is before, there was no AA, there was no 12 steps. But Ebby had gotten recovery through a spiritual path, and that's what he brought to Bill. And a lot of what Ebby brought got distilled into the 12 steps. And a lot of what Ebby brought in the beginning was out of an organization called the Oxford Group, which was a Christian-based organization. And Bill thought if he opened it up wider, that it wasn't specifically with a certain belief system, that he would be able to help a lot more people, and that's proved to be true. Very courageous on Bill's part to develop this whole program with a power greater than ourselves, a power God as we understood him, and of course many Christian people have gone back to their religion as a result of that, and that's fine. Whatever doorway we had to walk through to find our connection with our power, with our belief and our faith. But he says belief and faith isn't enough. Particularly imperative to work with others as he worked with me. Faith without works is dead. he said. How appallingly true for the alcoholic. For if the alcoholic failed to perfect and enlarge his spiritual life through work and self-sacrifice for others, he could not survive the certain trials and low spots ahead. So that's the deal. If you're in recovery and you're not working with others, you're not in service, it's dangerous territory. How do we grow? We grow through helping others. We grow in our experience of our relationship with a higher power, with God as we understand Him, through helping others. Um, if we did not work, if he did not work, he would surely drink again. If he drank, he would die, surely die. Then faith would be dead indeed. With us, it's just like that. So there's no really ifs, ands, or buts about it. In my experience of 40 years of working with guys and being in recovery myself, when I'm not working with other people, when I'm not I'm in my life able to work with other people, I get I fall away. And I start focusing on what's in it for me, and I start, I forget that I'm not running the show, and when I surrender and allow this power, as I understand it, to run the show, when I ask for guidance moment to moment, it's amazing. It's amazing. When I'm running the show, I get full of fear. I get angry. I'm trying to make things work my way, and I've got disconnected. So that's the deal. And so working with others really keeps me in the spiritual game. And so if you're in recovery, working with others is the answer. No matter where we're at in this journey, it really is the answer. And it points it out in the book, you know, dozens of times. Everything leads to that one thing. You know, if we get well, it's not so that we can just become successful in business or a better dad or a better husband, although all of that can happen. Our main objective, our main purpose is to carry the message. And so I just want to share that with you. And that is good news, really, isn't it? Because it's simple. It's not complicated. It's like, you know, and the message is not complicated. And it really isn't. I mean, a lot of what I do often is just sit down and read the book with guys. And they're like, wow, I didn't see this. I just sit down and we go over it, and it's so simple. Why would I try to change it or rewrite it or add or delete anything? It's because it's worked. Millions of people have had recovery. And it's not for everybody. You know, I post these videos. I have them on YouTube, right? And I post them on groups and stuff and sometimes there's debate. People say, well, I don't think that you need to have a relationship with a higher power to quit drinking, and it doesn't matter what other people think. And if you're able to stop without that, that's fine. But so many people aren't, and those are the people that we're here for. It doesn't matter if you can quit drinking or quit whatever it is that your addiction is, or you're having trouble with, without taking this spiritual path. Like, we tip our hat to you. We say, great, that's awesome. And we have no debate. We're here for the guys, the men and the women who have tried everything and just cannot stop. And it's interesting because lots of times people will come to us and they'll say, it's it, I'm done. I can't, I just can't stop. And they soon forget. That's the funny thing about the disease. It's the only disease in the world that tells you you're not sick. It says, oh, you're okay. You'll be fine. You can have a drink. And then you're screwed, and lots of times guys don't get back. Okay. March 28th, we're reading from this little book, the 24-Hour Day book. This book was published in 1954 or something like that. And this is, this copy is a very old copy that I found, and I've been reading here for a while. So it says, when we come into a 12-step meeting, we're not just coming into a meeting, we're coming into a new life. Nice. I'm always impressed by the change I see in people after they've been in the 12-step world for a while. RAA or NA or CA. I sometimes take an inventory of myself to see whether I have changed, and if so, in what way. Before I met the 12 steps, I was very selfish. I wanted my own way in everything. I didn't believe, I don't believe I ever grew up. When things went wrong, I sulked like a spoiled child and often went out and got drunk. Yes, it's true, eh? Many of us did, our maturity level when we first came in was like often around 13. You know, that's kind of the age that I think I was when I came in. My body was 25, but I think emotionally I was about 13. And and I think that like every 5 years in recovery, I matured about a year in emotionally. So I was in my teens a long time emotionally. That may not be true, but it seriously feels that way. It took me a long time to grow up, and even still, it's a process of and for me growing up isn't it really for me growing up is discovering this power that's greater in myself, recognizing that I cannot run the show, and being in that flow, saying yes moment to moment to what wants to be done. And my prayer every day is to show me, guide me, help me to be of service. And so it's a beautiful life that has come as a result of that. Meditation for the day. There are two things that we must have if we're going to change our way of life. One is faith, the confidence in things unseen, that fundamental goodness and purpose in the universe. The other is obedience, that is living accordance to our faith, living each day as we believe that God wants us to live, with gratitude, humility, honesty, purity, unselfishness, and love. Wow, that's quite a list, isn't it? Living each day as we believe that God wants us to live, with gratitude, humility, honesty, purity, unselfishness, and love. Faith and obedience, these two will give us all the strength we need to overcome temptation and sin, it says, where sin was an old word from English times, which meant to miss the mark. Sin and temptation, and to live a new and more abundant life. Amazing. Prayer for the day. I pray that I have more faith and obedience. I pray that I have more faith and obedience. I pray that I may live a more abundant life as a result of these things. I think that's neat that reading is very close to what I just read out of Bill's story. Bill was very clear that we needed to pass this on, and nothing has changed since Bill sobered up in 1935 in that way. The alcoholics and addicts that stay sober and live in recovery for a long, have long lives, commit their life to serving others, to being of service. That's the deal. And for us, that's to carry the message of recovery. Okay. So one of the things that I do on this video every day is a short meditation. And I'd like to have you join me for 3 or 4 minutes, honestly. Maybe 5 tops. and because I believe that one of the ways to tap into that power greater than ourselves is to be able to sit quietly for a short time. And for alcoholics and addicts, most of us are ADD, and our minds are crazy busy, and it's hard for us. I've talked to hundreds of people who have said, "Oh, I can't meditate. My mind is too busy. I can't get my mind to stop." So we're going to just practice a very short meditation, okay? It's not, I think that, 3 or 4 minutes anybody can do. So we're going to sit. I'd like you to join me. We're going to sit for like 3 or 4 minutes, period. And so close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Drop in. We're just going to sit for 3 or 4 minutes. Make sure you're in a comfortable spot. Just wherever you are, just sit. You can always come back to this video later and use this. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm helping to, folks to get into the moment is to let's first of all come into our bodies. I know you think, well, what do you mean? I'm in my body. Yes, but let's bring our consciousness into, parts of our body that other than just our head, our thoughts. So we're going to drop into and bring our awareness, focus into our feet, into our ankles. We're going to just walk through the body, but bring your consciousness, your awareness, your focus to these parts. Your feet and your ankles, your calves. Just imagine that you're really in your calves, in your knees. Bring your focus into your knees. Those beautiful, complex, piece of machinery that we call our knees that serve us all these years. Be in your knees and then in your thighs, and bring your attention into your butt. Whatever you're sitting on, just be conscious of that. You're here now in this moment. Into your belly, to your lower back. Bring your attention into your shoulders. When we're doing this, nothing else is happening. We're just focusing on our body. Into our chest. Into our breath. Just feel our shoulders and our collarbones and our shoulder blades. Then to our arms, and down our arms into our elbows. Our forearms, our wrists. Bring our attention into our hands and our fingers. We're right here now. Back up into your neck, to your jaw. Just let your jaw drop a bit. Just let it relax. Bring your attention into your skull, to your face and your lips, your nose, eyes. Just let your eyes relax. Focus on your forehead, just a little above your eyebrows, in the middle. And then back into your skull. Just bring your attention and focus inside of your head. As we're here, just feel it expand. We're going to expand our attention out of our heads into the room that we're sitting in. We're going to be expanded into this space. If there are any sounds, just take them in, just include them. Whenever any thoughts come into your head, just gently let them go. Just gently let them go. Remember, we're not our thoughts. They just happen randomly, often. We are the witness of our thoughts. We are the witness of our body. We are the witness of our expanded state in this moment. We are the witness of the stillness, of the oneness, of the isness of this moment. That's it. 3 or 4 minutes. Here we are. So you can stay in that space if you want, as long as you want. Or you can come back to this video, or I have some other ones that are just short meditation videos you can come back to on YouTube and listen to that. Just take advantage of this. Drop into the space. Become one with the moment. All right. Love you. And join us on Monday evening. We have a little sharing group on Zoom. I'll post the link to that. Monday evening on Zoom. I'd like to get to know you, and that's a good place for us to do that, 7 p.m. Okay. Love you lots. Thanks for joining us today.